this has been a meeting that has been on the cards for quite a long time, but the timing of it is a bit of a coincidence, just days after Donald Trump has left here. And that conversation between Donald Trump and China's President Xi Jinping will feature high on the agenda. Already, the Kremlin has said that it wants more information on the contact that China had with the Americans while Donald Trump was here in town last week, and the nature of their conversations, whether or not that included conversations about potentially a reshaping of the world order. The Financial Times is reporting today that one of the key topics of conversations last week was on the issue of Ukraine. Reportedly, President Xi Jinping told Donald Trump that Russia will live to regret the invasion of Ukraine. Now, that hasn't been something that's been confirmed nor denied by China at this point in time, but certainly the Kremlin is foreshadowing that issues of international significance will be on the discussion agenda when Mr. Putin arrives. There is also an expectation that there could be some sort of a deal signed between China and Russia, particularly in the area of energy or gas. In recent years, Russia has been pushing for China to sign a deal on a gas pipeline, a second gas pipeline that would run from Russia through Mongolia into China, which would deliver about 50 billion cubic meters of gas from Russia to China each year. That's something that China's been a bit reluctant to sign on towards, not because it doesn't necessarily need gas, but because it's been making a concerted shift away from traditional energy means towards renewables. And China's also a country that doesn't like to be reliant on others. It doesn't want to be reliant on Russia, for example, on that volume of gas. So I don't know that that agreement would be signed here, but certainly Russia has foreshadowed that it is expecting some major deals to be delivered between itself and China. I think China is going to try to capitalize on President Putin's visit by positioning itself as the key geopolitical player. Not only has it brought Donald Trump here, it's also brought Vladimir Putin here, and in the preceding week before Donald Trump's visit, it also brought the foreign minister of Iran here. Some of the most major players on the geopolitical stage are now all coming to China, with China at the axis of that. And I think that's something that China will certainly be trying to portray itself to the international community, of that it is no longer just a manufacturing workhorse, that it's no longer just an economic superpower, but it is now a geopolitical force within its own right, managing to do what America cannot do. It cannot bring those sort of players together. It cannot get a direct line to the Iranian foreign minister. It can't get a direct line to Vladimir Putin without some difficulty. And yet China has emerged as now the key player that is filling that void. And I think that is definitely something that we are seeing throughout Chinese media. And that's something that Xi Jinping, although he may not be saying it outwardly, would be taking a lot of pride and a lot of effort from this, because it's a position that China has been trying to elevate itself to throughout recent years. Donald Trump's visit here has really catapulted China onto the Western stage. It gave this 2-day spectacle of pomp and ceremony, and now it's bringing another major world player here. It's something that China will capitalize on.